There's nothing quite like the excitement of embarkation day. You finally see the ship and your vacation truly begins. But right here in this first R is where most passengers fall into the common traps that start their trip with stress and frustration. But not you, not today. We're revealing the 12 things you should never do when you board. This is the playbook that helps you cruise smarter, calmer, and more prepared than 90% of the people on board. And pay close attention to mistake number 7. It's an innocent-looking setting on your phone that has led to vacation ruining bills for over $1,000. Let's dive in and start your vacation the right way. Number 1. The same-day flight gamble. Alright, let's kick things off with the biggest gamble in cruising, and it happens before you even see the port. It's the temptation to fly in on the morning of your cruise. I get it, it seems efficient, it saves you a hotel bill, but you're essentially playing financial roulette with your entire vacation. In today's world of unpredictable flights, one delay, one mechanical issue, or one weather system, all it takes to watch your multi-thousand-dollar trip literally sail away without you. And let's be crystal clear, the ship will not wait. There are no exceptions. The golden rule of stress-free cruising is simple. Always fly in the day before. This isn't just a tip, it's the single best way to eliminate embarkation day anxiety. Instead of a frantic, nail-biting race against the clock, you get a calm, leisurely morning just minutes from the terminal. And here's the pro move, look into pre-cruise hotel packages. Services like Onboard in Orlando and similar companies in other port cities can bundle your hotel and your transfers from the airport and to the ship. It turns a logistical chore into the official first night of your vacation. Number 2. Getting your arrival time wrong. When you check in for your cruise, you have to select an arrival time. And this leads to the next mistake, not understanding the strategy behind that choice. While there are pros and cons to arriving early or late, what you should never do is disregard the time you selected. Now, this is a hotly debated topic. The official advice is to abide by the time you chose. Cruise lines create these slots to manage the flow of thousands of people and prevent the terminal from becoming chaotic. Arriving outside your time contributes to the massive queues that can delay everyone. However, many experienced cruisers find these times aren't always strictly enforced and regularly show up early without a problem. So what should you do? The mistake is arriving early and expecting to walk right on. The safest bet is to stick to your time, but if you do arrive early, be ready to wait. The main thing is to consciously decide what kind of experience you want. An early arrival means more time to explore the ship. You'll have plenty of time to grab a bite to eat, check out the amenities, and start your vacation hours before those who arrive later. On the other hand, some people prefer to arrive late. Boarding around 1:30 or 2 p.m. typically means shorter lines, less congestion at the buffet, and immediate access to your stateroom, allowing for a more relaxed start to your vacation. Number 3. Don't forget your carry-on bag. When you first arrive at the terminal, you'll be greeted by porters ready to take your large luggage. It's a fantastic service, but it leads to a critical mistake, handing over everything. What you should never do is let those big bags go without first packing a smaller essential carry-on. Here's why. Once you give your main suitcases to the porter, they're whisked away into the ship's loading process, and you won't see them again for hours. They'll be delivered outside your stateroom much later in the day. Because you won't have access to your packed clothes or toiletries, you must have a carry-on with all essentials. This includes your passports, cruise documents, medication, jewelry, and electronics. It's also smart to pack a swimsuit and a change of clothes for the evening. And definitely don't pack away cruise-specific items like your medallion or printed luggage tags. You absolutely cannot send your suitcase off only to realize your passport is inside. You need it to complete check-in. Thankfully, most porters are trained to ask if you have your documents, but the final responsibility is yours. Number 4. Never attempt to sneak prohibited items on board. Packing for a cruise is not like packing for a land vacation. There's a specific list of items that are prohibited on cruise ships, and what you should never do is try to sneak them past security. This includes obvious fire hazards like clothing irons and steamers, but also some surprising things. For example, some Caribbean countries actually ban camouflage-patterned clothing. So it's always critical to check the rules for your specific itinerary. If you try to bring a forbidden item in your carry-on, your boarding process will stop and get delayed right at the security scanner. Likewise, if you try to smuggle something in your checked bags, they'll get flagged too. You'll find a note in your cabin to visit security, and that means a long delay before your luggage is delivered. The simple rule: never assume something is allowed. Double-check before you pack. A quick 5-minute check of your cruise line's official prohibited items list before you pack can save you hours of frustration on embarkation day. Number 5. Don't try and skip the muster drill. Before the ship can set sail, every single passenger must complete the mandatory safety drill, also known as the muster drill. What you should never do is treat this as optional or something you can ignore. The ship is legally not allowed to leave port until every person is accounted for. The good news: the process is much easier than it used to be. To date, most ships use a virtual muster system. You simply watch the required safety videos on your phone via the cruise line's app or on your stateroom TV, and then visit your assigned assembly station for a quick check-in. A crew member will scan your card, and the whole thing usually takes just a few minutes. But amidst all the excitement of Embarkation Day, it's easy to forget. Still, you won't be able to hide. The crew will make frequent announcements and eventually start calling out names and cabin numbers. So get it done the moment you get on board. Number 6. Do not consume too much alcohol. Vacation is a time to let loose, and if you have a drink package, you'll naturally want to get your money's worth. But the mistake you should never make is overindulging, especially on the very first day. Beyond just feeling awful with a hangover on day 2 of your expensive trip, there's a critical reason to drink responsibly: your travel insurance. Many policies contain clauses that may deny coverage for injuries that happen while intoxicated. A simple slip and fall could turn into a major financial issue if your claim is denied. On top of that, you don't want to start your vacation feeling nauseous or dehydrated. The sun and sea air will dehydrate you faster, so it's essential to drink plenty of water between alcoholic beverages. It's fine to indulge more than you do at home, but know your limits. Your drink package is valid for the entire cruise, not just the first few hours. Think of it as a marathon, not a sprint. Pace yourself and save the fun for later. Number 7. Don't forget to turn off your cellular. Pay close attention here. Of all the mistakes on this list, this is easily the most expensive one you can make, and it happens silently in the background. The mistake you must never make is forgetting to turn off your phone's cellular data before the ship pulls away from port. Once your ship is at sea, it switches to its own satellite cellular service, often called Cellular at Sea. The roaming fees for this service are astronomical and not included in most domestic or even international phone plans. If you forget to turn off your data, your phone will rack up charges in the background. The solution is simple and foolproof. Before the ship begins to sail, put your phone on airplane mode. If you've purchased a Wi-Fi package, you can then manually turn your Wi-Fi back on. Make it a ritual. When you hear the ship horn for the sail away party, that's your final signal: airplane mode on, no exceptions. Number 8. Don't miss the ship's departure. The sail away party is a hallmark of any cruise, signifying the true start of your vacation. But the mistake to never make is being so busy unpacking or exploring that you miss the ship actually leaving port. It's important to distinguish between the high-energy party on the pool deck and the sail-away experience itself. The pool deck party is loud and crowded, and it isn't for everyone. If that's not your style, just make sure to arrive a little early to grab a good spot. The essential thing is experiencing the ship pulling away from the dock and sailing into the open sea, the magical moment that marks the start of your journey. Many experienced cruisers prefer a more relaxed atmosphere. Instead of joining the mob on the pool deck, find your own perfect spot. Watch from your balcony, a forward observation deck, or an aft bar. The organized party is optional, but the departure itself is not. Don't be inside, witness the coastline disappearing. Number 9. Ignoring your cabin steward. When you first step into your cabin, you'll probably be greeted by your cabin steward, the person responsible for keeping your stateroom spotless and comfortable throughout the cruise. What you should never do is ignore this introduction or treat it as unimportant. Your steward will quickly learn your habits, when you leave for breakfast, when you return for naps, and what small comforts you prefer. They can bring extra towels, pillows, or even ice buckets. Building a friendly rapport early makes your stay smoother and much more enjoyable. Even a simple smile and greeting go a long way. These hardworking crew members often handle dozens of rooms and appreciate passengers who are kind and respectful. Treat them well and you'll often get small, thoughtful touches that make your cruise feel extra special. Number 10. Don't forget to explore the ship. Modern cruise ships are floating cities packed with amenities, entertainment, and hidden gems. The mistake you should never make is failing to explore them on Embarkation Day. It's easy to stay near your cabin or the buffet, but that means missing out on incredible spots you might never discover later. The best time to explore is right after boarding, before your cabin is ready or before the crowds grow. Take your phone, open the ship's map on the cruise app, and walk around. You'll quickly get your bearings and maybe stumble upon things like secret decks, quiet lounges, or stunning ocean views. You'll thank yourself later when you don't waste time during the week trying to find things. Exploring early gives you the freedom to plan activities better and discover everything your ship has to offer. Don't rush. Take in the grandeur of the ship you'll call home for the next several days. Number 11. Don't wait too long to unpack. At some point in the afternoon, often before the ship even sails, your checked luggage will be delivered outside your cabin door. The mistake you should never make is procrastinating on unpacking. Living out of a suitcase creates clutter and keeps your stateroom from feeling like you're home away from home. Taking just 20 minutes to unpack ensures you can settle in faster and makes getting ready for dinner much easier. You won't have to shuffle through bags looking for clothes or toiletries. A great pro tip: pack a few extra foldable hangers since cabins rarely have enough for a full cruise wardrobe. Once you're done, store your empty suitcases under the bed. This frees up valuable floor and closet space. Because they're tucked away, it's even more critical to prioritize unpacking so you don't have to constantly pull luggage back out. Your cabin will instantly feel more comfortable and organized. Number 12. Don't start your vacation in the guest services line. On Embarkation Day, you'll almost always see a long line at the guest services desk, often snaking across the atrium. The mistake you should never make is wasting the first precious hours of your vacation waiting in it. Some people have urgent issues, but most are hoping for last-minute cabin upgrades. Ships sail almost completely full, so the chances of a free upgrade are incredibly slim. And if one is available, you'll almost certainly have to pay. Starting your trip with a long, frustrating wait just to be told no is a terrible way to begin. Instead, use that time to start your vacation immediately. Grab your first cocktail, explore the top decks, or have a relaxed lunch. Unless you have an urgent issue only guest services can solve, it's better to let the initial embarkation rush die down. Visit later in the evening or the next day when the lines have vanished. Your vacation time is your most valuable currency. That playbook puts you ahead of 90% of other passengers. If you found this valuable, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into cruising secrets. Avoiding these mistakes means you'll relax with a drink in hand while everyone else gets stuck in predictable traps. 2 final pro-level bonus tips. First, avoid the buffet for your Embarkation Day lunch. It's chaotic for a reason. Check the cruise app or daily planner for a more relaxed complimentary restaurant. Second, protect your luggage from the elements. Spray zippers with a fabric waterproofer before leaving home to save your clothes from a damp start. And there you have it, the complete playbook to mastering Embarkation Day. Avoid these mistakes and you'll enjoy smooth sailing from the very first moment. Now, share your #1 can't miss Embarkation Day secret in the comments. Let's build the ultimate guide together. Happy cruising!